What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training. Today we're going to be walking you through a quiz on the fade route. So what we're going to do is we're going to show 3 specific clips, and I'm going to walk you guys through what you should be doing and what you should be thinking as a wide receiver and how you guys should run a fade route versus these 3 specific defensive looks. So if you guys aren't familiar with our quiz format that we've been doing with these videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a clipping like so, and I'm going to show you guys just the screenshot of it pretty much, what you would see pre-snap as a wide receiver. Then you guys are going to pause the clip, think about what you guys could do on this specific situation, and then you're going to play the clip where I'm going to break it down and explain what you guys got. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope this video gives you some value. If you guys like this type of content, please don't hesitate to share some feedback in the comment section. We always appreciate the feedback. Let's get started, fellas. So now the first situation we got is we got to run this 9 route. We got to run this fade route, but we are facing an off-man coverage DB who's inside shade about 7 to 8 yards off. Okay, so now you guys can pause the clip, think about what you want to do against this specific coverage. And now I'm going to get into this breakdown. So when you guys have an inside shade DB like so, right? What's the goal of this coverage? This goal of this coverage is because he does not have safety help to the inside. So his goal is to force you to the sideline. He's giving us a lot of cushion. He's expecting an outside breaking route, or he just simply does not have help to the inside to be able to play outside shade or to be able to play up. So he's expecting an inside breaking route. So he's trying to make it difficult on you by sitting to the inside. So we know that we have a fade, and I would consider that like an outside breaking route. So if you had to run like a 10-yard out, a corner, anything like that, what would you do against this specific case? You'd attack the DB's leverage, right? You would square him up, you'd stem him off the line, you'd attack his midline, because we know if his leverage is inside shade and you attack it, he's going to keep it. So if you guys said attack his leverage and give him a move, then work back outside, you would be 100% correct. Now, if you thought, oh, okay, I'm just going to take off and go right now to the space that he gave me, he's going to get right on your hip and force you to the sideline. So let's watch what AB does right here. So he does a great job of stemming him, attacking inside, getting that DB to keep his leverage inside and creating space to the sideline where that quarterback can drop this thing in. It's all about being able to create space. That quarterback's going to throw you open. So if I have maybe about like again, this red line, they'll teach you that when you guys play high school ball. If you're maybe not in high school ball, if you are in high school ball and you haven't talked about this, you'll learn this when you get to college ball. But this like red line right here is a great place for wide receivers to shoot for, because that's plenty of space for this quarterback to fade you out. So when you have an inside shade guy and you have to run this fade, let's attack him, attack his leverage, make him weave to the inside, give him a move, and then I have space for my quarterback to throw me back open. That's a perfect example here by AB. So again, first look that we're going to talk about, inside shade guy 7 to 8 off. How do I approach this? I attack his leverage, get him to keep his leverage, and then I use the space created to the sideline. Let's watch the thing again, full speed. Great job by Antonio Brown attacking his leverage, getting him off the platform, and then accelerating back to the outside to make this play. All right, fellas, so now the next clip we're going to be talking about is how you guys can run a fade route versus a zone coverage look like this. Now, before I get into this breakdown, fellas, I want to talk to you about a great opportunity that we are doing this offseason. We are traveling out to 8 different cities across the United States for 2-day-long quarterback, wide receiver, and DB training camps. So we're going to be coming out to Houston, Texas at the beginning of February. Then we're coming out to Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to one of those 8 cities and you want to come out, travel out, get some work in with us, we'd really appreciate it and we would love to have you. So check out that very first link in the description below, fellas, if you want more information on what we'll be doing at those camps. And one thing I could tell you as well, I wouldn't even consider it a camp. I would consider it more of a clinic, just simply because we are only limiting spots to 10 to 12 guys per position group. So it's going to be small work and the spots are going to fill up fast. Our Houston, Phoenix, and Newark camp are almost completely sold out, you guys, because again, it's a great opportunity for you guys to actually get coached. It's not a camp where we're just going to run you through drills, 150 people out there and have a waste of time. We're actually going to coach you. You guys screw up on a rep, we're going to stop the practice, explain to you what you did wrong, and then get back to work. So you guys are actually going to learn something and actually get some value from this. So if you want some more information, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this clip. So like I said, we got a zone coverage DB who's about 7 to 8 yards off, right? And he is facing the quarterback. That's how we know that it's zone coverage. So how would you guys run this fade route against this specific coverage? So I'm going to pause the clip. You guys can think about what you're going to do, and then we'll break it down. So you guys go ahead and pause the clip, think about it. Now I'm going to break this thing down and explain what we got. So anytime that I got a zone coverage DB, right, we identify pre-snap that it's zone. Eyes are looking to the inside. He's pointing his hip at me. The main thing is that I have to get outside of him, right? I have to get to this like blind spot, as a lot of people like to call it, right? So Diggs ends up running like a little stutter go here, but it's the same type of concept. But when you guys end up doing this, you want to attack the DB. You want to try to step on his toes and attack his front hip, because what we want to make it look like is we want to make it look like a post route or a stop route or any kind of inside breaking route. that's how we want to make this thing look. So I want to go straight at him, try to step on his toes, and then I want to threaten him to the inside with either, like, again, Diggs does a little stutter go, which is a double move. It's a design play, so we're not really focused on that. But or a move where I like fake an inside head fake post. They call it a vertical set. So let's watch this full speed. So you go at him, make him uncomfortable, then any kind of movement, he's going to be over anxious to jump this thing, right? Because when it's zone coverage like this, his job is to keep everything in front of him. So when we break in front of him like this, because as a smart DB knows, that's a play in the offense that we like, he wants to drive on this thing, right? Or if I break on a post, we want to try to hit that break, or we want to try to hit that post right off the break from a quarterback perspective. So that DB is going to be anxious. And he is not looking at us, fellas. So if we can just attack him with speed, step on his toes with speed, attack his front hip with speed, that's going to get him to bail out of there, kind of be on the defensive. And then when we make any kind of movement to the inside to threaten him, he's going to jump. So if you guys said attack him, step on his toes, and give a move inside, you'd be correct. If you guys said attack the blind spot, that's not necessarily like wrong, but if you just go straight to the blind spot, that DB is going to stack. He's going to weave. He's going to stay over the top of you, and you don't have that fade route, right? So you got to make sure that we attack him, threaten him inside to get him to move off the platform, get him to bite on the inside fake, and then I can slip back out. It's not like you're running a sluggo. It's not like you're running a post corner. It is literally one step to the inside to create space, or maybe a little stutter, maybe a little tempo change like we see from Stephon Diggs. It's more of like a design stop and go, like I said, but it's the same principle if you were running a fade against zone. Let's watch it again full speed. Great job dropping those hips, getting that DB to jump, getting him over anxious, and then making that play over the top. Okay, so now, fellas, so we got a situation here where we have an inside shade DB, and he's about 1 to 2 yards off inside leverage, okay? So how would you guys run a fade in this specific case? So you guys can go ahead and pause the video, think about what you're going to do when you have an inside shade DB 1 to 2 yards off. You're maybe off the ball, so maybe it turns into 3 to 4 yards. And how would you guys run a fade route against this? So go ahead and pause the video. Now I'm going to get into explaining this thing, okay? So now, this is where a lot of people get tripped up because we talked about the inside shade 7 to 8 yards off, right? They think that, oh, okay, now I got to use my stem. You got to stem a DB. I can stem him to the inside. But even when he's close, even when he's 2 to 3 yards, you can still stem a DB. You can still work a DB off his platform, and you can still get him to jump to the inside, right? So that's exactly what this wide receiver does. This is exactly what Garrett Wilson does. So he attacks this DB. I'm going to play at full speed. We attack his leverage because he's going to keep his leverage. And again, what does that do? That creates space for me to the outside for that quarterback to throw me open. It is the same principle when it is man coverage, fellas. If I got a press man guy who's right on the line of scrimmage, it is the same thing. I just don't stem him. I give him a move to the inside, get him to keep his leverage to the inside, and then I could go run the outside fade. If I got an inside shade guy in this catch technique, 2 to 3 yards off, I attack his leverage, I get him to keep his leverage, and that creates space. I got a guy 7 to 8 yards off inside shade. I attack his leverage, get him to keep his leverage, and I got all this space to work. So when you got inside shade coverage in any type of man coverage situation, fellas, that's what you want to do. So if you guys said something like attack his leverage, square him up, attack his midline, work him off the platform, you would be 100% correct. Just make sure, fellas, on a fade route, we know what we got. Now, one more thing I want to add is that if you have an outside shade guy, don't be afraid to take the inside release, right? Because we talk a lot about outside releases today, attacking the blind spot, vent zone. But if you have an outside shade guy, don't be afraid to attack him outside. Because again, why is he outside shade? That's his leverage, right? So if you attack his leverage, he's going to keep his leverage. We can just take the inside release, but make sure we work to restack. Just understand, fellas, that when it's man coverage, you have to run a fade. Usually you're attacking the guy's leverage. You're not forcing a release because if he's outside shade and you try to force the outside release, he's going to get hands, force you right to the sideline. Just like if you were to run a post route against an inside shade guy, you force the inside route, he's going to get hands and screw up the spacing of the play. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Garrett Wilson attacking the DB, working him off that platform, and then obviously creating space for that quarterback to throw him open to the sideline. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I always appreciate the feedback. And again, I hope you guys like this format of the video. I hope it gives you guys some value. And again, fellas, we are traveling out to 8 different cities this offseason. We're coming to Houston, Phoenix, Newark, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to one of those states, want to come out and get some great work in with us, check out that very first link in the description below. We would love to have you out. I'll see you guys next time.